What's up, guys? Let's have a quick reality chat. Alright, so a lot of people have been talking about how the Real Housewives of Atlanta's current season, which is season 13, has been pretty much a snooze fest for the most part. And even before this new season started, there were a lot of people that were talking about the rumors about the bachelorette party that they had for Cynthia when they were on vacation in South Carolina last summer. So here we are. It's now February of 2021. This alleged incident between a few of the ladies and possibly this stripper by the name of Bolo happened last summer. And so the episodes that have been airing up until now, there really has not been a whole lot going on, okay? So we already knew that this was probably going to be the most watched and most anticipated episode in the season because there really hasn't been a whole lot going on. And of course, there were those rumors going around that there was an alleged threesome, and some people were trying to say it happened between Portia Williams and Tanya Sam, who has been said to no longer have been filmed after the situation happened because of the rumors that were going around, and the stripper by the name of Bolo. Now, they were having this bachelorette party for Cynthia. Okay. We already know that Kandi is first and foremost all about her money and about her business. So she's got her pleasure line, and you know, I say pleasure line in the place of the other word for you know what, toy line, and some other things that she has going on. So to me, even though it could appear that Kandi is the one that was in charge of the girls that night and getting everybody in place and ready for this surprise bachelorette party that they were going to have for Cynthia, to me it looked like a big infomercial. I could be wrong because I don't follow her, I don't subscribe to the things that she sells, but just to me, because of the way I know she operates when it comes to business, to me it just looked more like an infomercial for things that she has for sale, or possibly things that she will have upcoming in the future for sale on her website for her pleasure line. So she'll probably soon be having lingerie and whips and pleasure swings and all that stuff like she had at the house for the girls during this bachelorette party. But I digress. I just wanted to bring that up. All right, so I'm just going to get right into it. And I really want to know your thoughts in the comment section about the episode, because of course they can only show so much on television. This is a show that comes on Bravo. This isn't coming on HBO or Cinemax or whatever, and it comes on at 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. So there's only so much they can show. But even with what they showed, to me, call me a prude all you want. I'll be the first to call myself a prude because I'm just not into all of that stuff that, you know, they were all doing. It's just, to me, it was just a bit too much. And it kind of reminds me of back when Nene made comments about Phaedra and Portia when they were on the show, and all that stuff came up about the rumors with Kandi having this sex dungeon in her house and wanting to allegedly do some things to Portia, Kandi, and her husband, and all this other crazy stuff that Phaedra was alleging through Portia. Anyway, to me, it was like, wow, because even Kenya, of all people, like, to me, I was like, wow, she is doing the most. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not here to critique anyone's age or anything like that, but I don't know, is Kenya the oldest one, or was she the oldest one there, or is it Cynthia? I believe Cynthia is probably the oldest, and then next to Cynthia it's Kenya. But either way, I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I don't. And Kenya was just like laying all over, legs cocked wide open, and just doing the absolute most. And then all of the things that were happening after the stripper was done with his little show, if you want to call it that. Because again, I'm just not into that. I just have a thing about germs, and I'm a little bit OCD, and I think about things like that. And I'm sorry, I don't want somebody's funky parts in my face. I don't care how sexy you think they are or they think they are. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I don't know where you've been. I don't know where you're going. I don't know. I'm just not into that stuff. But that is me. I'm not knocking anyone who is, but it's just not my thing. So to me, I just was sitting there like with my face kind of cringing and lip curled up and you know, just looking like ew the majority of the time. But when he finished with his show and they finished drizzling the dollars all over the place for him, because I don't even think any of them even had their own money. Candy even supplied the dollars for them to throw, which was hilarious to me, but whatever. She's got it like that. The girls were like, let's cover up the cameras, get these cameras out of here so we can really have some fun. And they were wanting to have fun with each other. Now, to me, it was just very off-putting. And I'm not trying to say that you can't be diverse and multi-dimensional as a person. But for the show, The Real Housewives of Atlanta, to show all of these things about Portia in the previous episodes about her fighting for justice and fighting for Breonna Taylor and Black Lives Matter and all of that stuff, and then now to see her doing all of this, like, it just was, to me, I just didn't think those things should be together. I just didn't. But that's me. That's my opinion. You can let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. I'm not saying that she had to be Coretta Scott King in order to fight for justice, but can you picture Coretta Scott King dressed up in some lingerie, putting her butt crack all over the front of a stripper? I'm just saying, I don't know. I thought maybe Portia was trying to change up her image a little bit from what they were showing in the previous episodes of the show, but to see all of this with her, you know, saying I'm gonna be a bisexual tonight, and somebody's gonna be licking the cat and all this other stuff that she was saying, it was just like, wow, that is a lot. That's a whole lot. And oh my gosh. And then the other girls, to me, it was a lot. And I know people like to say a whole lot of things about Marlo, but Marlo was like, I'm not here for all of this. I'm going to my room. I'm out of here. And she wasn't there for all of that. But with the rumors that were going around last summer and the things that were coming out about there was some alleged threesome between Portia and Tanya and the stripper, I'll be honest, I don't think that stripper did anything physically like that with any of those women. I think if anything went down, it was between the women, and that's it. I don't think the stripper did anything but dance and maybe did some grinding or stuff like that. But I don't even think he was even into any of these women, and that's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't follow him. I don't know his life, but I'm just saying, to me, it didn't even look like he was really interested in them, because when the cameras caught Portia going into his room, they didn't show her in the room, they just had the audio. She said, hey, the ladies want to know if you want to come back out, and come back out. And he's like, come back out and do what? He didn't sound interested in being there at all. He just sounded like he was like, I did my job, I made my money, I'm getting dressed, and I'm up out of here. But if there was going to be maybe some more money involved, then yeah, possibly. And then they showed him leaving at 7 o'clock the next morning. So I really don't think anything physical like that happened between him and any of the ladies. I could be wrong. They didn't show any of that. They didn't catch any of that on the cameras. But they did go through a lot of depths to cover up the security cameras that were in the house, because the the footage of the cameramen being there and filming, they wrapped that up and they left. But there were the security cameras that were in the vacation home. So they wanted to make sure those were all covered up so that the owners wouldn't have that footage on their cameras. But there was a little bit of stuff that was caught on there. They caught Toya on top of Portia and they were making out on the couch and just other stuff. It was just, to me, it seemed like it was a whole lot, and also a whole lot of nothing at the same time. And I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but when I say it felt like a whole lot and a whole lot of nothing, I felt like they were doing the most for the show to try to make it an interesting episode and interesting scenes for the show, but it really was boring. And again, I'm not into that stuff, so maybe that's just me. You can let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section, but stuff like that doesn't get me hot and bothered and riled up. It's just, to me, not very interesting, and I also just felt like it was a bit too much. I can remember many seasons ago when they had a little bachelorette party for Cynthia when they went down to, I believe it was Kim Zolciak's friend's mansion down in Miami. Now, to me, that was a lot more fun than what this was that they just recently aired. It was just the ladies. They did have I believe they did have a stripper there, you know, some guy. And it was just fun. It wasn't like this. To me, this was just like way too much, over the top, you know. But again, they're trying to get the ratings and they're trying to get the viewership up because the season's views has been down. And I don't believe that's because Nene isn't there anymore. I just believe that a lot of it has really ran its course. And please don't think I'm judging age, but I'm sorry to see a 50-something-year-old woman rolling around in, you know, lingerie, just acting straight up nasty. And I'm talking about Kenya. It was just very weird, especially somebody who seems to be judging the majority of these ladies after all of the events went down that night, because then she wanted to have what she called Bolo court and call everyone to the stand and interrogate them about the events that happened during the night in the early wee hours of the morning. It was really weird. I was like, okay, Cynthia's daughter, how does she feel about seeing her mom like this? How will Kenya's daughter, when she becomes of age, and if she does see this, how is she going to view it? How does this make her soon-to-be ex-husband Mark feel about her even being on the show? I mean, the baby wasn't in the room when she was doing all of this, but she took the baby with her, and the baby was in the other room, and she was like doing all, I don't know, in front of all these women. It was just very strange. Very strange. I wasn't into it, and I just feel like they were doing the most, and it was still really a whole lot of nothing. They tried to build up this episode to be like it was going to be an epic show, and I know they can only show so much on television, but I just don't think that it was all that they were hoping that it was going to be, and it was a big fizzle to me. But that's my opinion about it, just being beautifully honest. I really want to know what you guys think about it. How do you feel about the guy, Bolo? Do you think that anything really went down between him and any of the women like that? I really don't think it did. I really don't. And he did come out and deny those rumors last year. I at that time believed that, but those are just my thoughts based on what I've seen, based on what they have built up this episode to be. It just didn't come out to be everything that I was thinking they were hoping it was. So those are my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts about what all happened in this episode. Do you feel that Portia was doing way too much, especially with this now new image of being an activist for Black Lives Matter and Breonna Taylor and justice for African Americans, and, you know, being a freak on camera at the same time? Let me know your thoughts about that. And do you feel that anything really went down between the stripper and the woman? And how do you feel about Kenya and her just doing the absolute most? Okay. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'm just kind of over this show. I really had to press my way to even talk about this, but I really wanted to know what you guys thought about it in the comments. So please let me know your thoughts. And until the next episode, I'm just being beautifully honest.